I had when I wasn't a pastor, I wanted to learn deliverance. I wanted to hear from God. Those are true riches. I took care of the other stuff, the carnal stuff, but I wanted the spiritual stuff. So I wanted to be able to cast out devils. I wanted to be able to hear from God. I wanted to be able to prophesy. I want to know what ministry is. I want to identify the fivefold ministry. I wanted to know what the 9 gifts of the Spirit were. So I didn't wait till I became pastor and then got a wise idea and said, you know, I think I'm going to study those subjects. No, I studied it before I became a pastor, so I can articulate it to you correctly. So you got to have a vision. You got to have a vision for your family. You got to have a vision for your family. Where you want to take your family? You got any goals? 1 to 3, 3 to 5 years, 5 to 7, 7 to 10. That's how you set them up in increments. You don't have if you haven't learned how to save, you can just give up the rest of it. If it involves purchasing and you haven't learned how to save, it ain't happening. I don't care who come and prophesy to you and tell you that prosperity is your portion. I see see this big old 5,000 square foot house. I see 4 ways to come into the house. You come up from the top, from the garage, on the side of the door. I don't care who tell you about your possible riches. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't prepare for it, if you don't learn how to save, that is the basics. That's the basic need for increase in prosperity. It's learning how to save. So if you're a spendthrift, you can hang it up. Yeah, spendthrift. If you like blue light sales and you're looking for bargains, some of y'all need to be delivered from that. I'm serious.
Yes.
Some of y'all, some of y'all need to be delivered from penny pinching.
Now listen to the pastor, please.
I'm trying to tell him something.
Because all of this, whenever he's talking on money and lack thereof and how to save, and he's been talking about it for years, it's been a buzzword about saving and different things, then it's time to pay attention seriously. It is time. That's why we're a church of poverty.
Poverty mentality.
Got this poverty mentality. And you can see it. You think you can't see poverty. You can see it. It speaks loudly.
Poverty mentality can receive information, can hear what's being said, but never implement it. Yeah, that sounds cute. That sounds good. But then it's just a dictation. It's just a word. It's just a buzzword. You don't include it. You don't make room. You don't go to prove it. You don't go to test it. You don't go to include it. All that stuff. But anyhow, that's not a message.
Yeah.
Number 4, Jebusites. That means to be trodden underfoot. Discouragement. I'm going to put all these together once I get done with the 8.
So a lot of times, what you're talking on all of these spirits is you can be discouraged and don't even know it. A lot of times you can't lift that because it's a spirit of it. It's a Jebusite. It's underneath that condemnation of.
It's actually a system.
A system, I'm sorry.
Thinking.
Right, a system, yeah.
Because discouragement just don't show up.
Come on, wow.
Those are cycles.
That's good.
And the enemy knows that.
Wow.
So when you say having false prosperity, having a lover of pleasure, I'm telling you, you can have a love of pleasure. You probably have a specific pleasure in the world, but when you come into the kingdom, you'll find that thing replaced. You probably had a desire for alcohol, can't have alcohol, so you like beverage. Beverages. That's what I said, beverages. That's a drink.
A drink.
So they still beverages. When you think about alcoholic beverages, you come over into the kingdom, and see, that's how the enemy will do you. If you have a unbridled passion for something in darkness in your first life, in your previous lifestyle, when you come into the new lifestyle, if you don't learn how to get that thing delivered, if you don't know how to bring it into the right perspective, you'll replace it.
Right.
You will. Yeah, you'll replace it for something else. Yeah, one addiction for another. But you had to get to the root and find out what made that so enticing to you or attractive to you.
Yeah.
We're creatures of habit, okay, you guys? We're creatures of habit.
Wow, it's true.
Okay,
so we're learning these are systems. I like that. Everything's not a spirit.
It's a system.
These are systems that have been set up already. Landmark. They're like landmarks. You know, they're like strong.
Strongholds.
Strongholds. Okay.
Concepts.
Concepts.
Thinking. Principles. Principles and concepts makes up systems. And we have to address these systems. There's only one system, kingdom.
That's right. Wow. Come on.
Church is a system.
Yeah.
It's a religious system, but it's a system. And it soothes you, keeps you comfortable. You know, you don't advance it. You just stay stagnant, and you enjoy it, and you waste it on yourself. But kingdom is it's advancing.
Come on.
There's mobility, there's movement, there's momentum. There's an expression that comes. But these things, if I got these within me, resisting the seed that God placed on the inside of me, the seed of the kingdom, then what's going to happen, like number 5, right? Well, I didn't really spend a lot of time on discouragement, but we get discouraged. And sometimes our discouragement is sometimes connected to our own desires. See, when you find out what God has spoken and required for you in this season, then you don't get discouraged.
Yes.
Now, myself as a leader, I get discouraged because I see things and I know what the Lord wants to do with the house and where He wants to take the house. And thank God that He put people around me to be not like Eli, the other boys with Job, but I don't have miserable comforters around me. I got people that can be a Barnabas to me. That name means encouragement, and I got people around me that can encourage me. And you need to find somebody who can encourage you.
Amen.
That can speak a word of encouragement to you and tell you it's going to be better later. It's going to be greater later. Anyhow, 5 is Ammonites. People pleaser. People pleaser. Got to please people. You wonder what other folks going to say. I got to get delivered from that. It took me about 4 years to get delivered from that. Because I was trying to be like everybody else, all the other preachers. The guy from Chicago, I just had a whole facade on me that was totally different from the nature that God put on the inside. And I was reading things and sharing messages at the Holiday Inn. Stuff was coming off the pages, and I'm like, okay, God. And I'm squelched, and I go home in my own little private lab, and I go in there, and God started giving me some stuff out of scriptures that I hadn't heard before. And I was trying to kind of basically suffocate my identity because I wanted to make sure that I had everybody on the same page so you guys can understand what I was articulating. And at that time, we had a nice group when I was like that, you know. But once I changed and went into my whole identity, said, hold on, this stuff is crazy now. I can't understand that language. Is that Shibboleth or Shibboleth? I don't know. That's the book of Judges, the 12th chapter. And so they were trying to figure out we can't cross over unless you can say Shibboleth. And I started saying Shibboleth. They were saying Shibboleth? No, Shibboleth. So they went another way. But we can be people pleasers. You know, some of us still deal with family. We want to please the family, make the family happy. Well, okay, I won't go there, but I'll leave it alone. I had to deal with my own family. I had to address issues in my family. I had a family member that would sit out there and he was like a junkyard dog, growling every time I would bring it up something. And I had to go to him and tell him, say, hey, look, I've been sent by God. I know my lane. I can be a son. I can be a brother. I can be an uncle. I can be a, you know what I'm saying? And still, I mean, because I love those titles more so than I love the title of apostle, believe it or not. I like just being me. That don't mean you can call me Steve. I remember the first time I mentioned that, somebody said, that means we can call you Steve? I said, if I hit you with one of these. I didn't say that, but that's what I was saying in the back of my mind. That's not what I meant.
Fred Sanford on the right.